So we're often asked, why do we do audits?
So why do audits?
I always welcomed external audits.
Audits are important because you find things on a day-to-day basis that would not be there otherwise.
Audits are a way to get independent eyes into an organization.
To test and verify that the training that we conduct,
Conditions, behaviors,
the risk reduction activities we implemented, and other programs were as successful as we planned them to be.
Inspections are a shot in time. Audits look over the long term.
and offer a way to help an organization improve. So looking back over about 35 years, I look at the first audit we did as the one that really had the biggest client issue. Oftentimes your first is your worst, and it was definitely the worst in my 35 years. The client itself didn't have a lot of documentation to demonstrate their intent. That was kind of square one. A lot of implementation had been done on tribal knowledge or just through repetition. The audit itself ended in a dispute. The GM looked at the report and said, hey, I need 45 different procedures, and I don't believe I really do. Looking back and reflecting as a team, I don't think we presented the findings properly, and one of the things that we learned the most about this particular process was communication. Communicating not only at the outset, at the opening meeting, and then waiting to communicate at the end in the closing meeting is not the way to go. We instituted daily debriefs, and those daily debriefs led to understanding, led to buy-in by the organization, and at the end they owned it. In the first attempt that I mentioned as being the worst case, they really didn't feel like they owned that. You're kind of presenting, a portrait of an organization to the GM. The GM is your most important customer, really. It's the organization that you're auditing, but they're the face of the organization. They're the ones that are going to make the difference in terms of leadership, and they really need to know the finding and understand it well in order to implement it, and that's the golden nugget of any audit. One of the things I've learned is, sometimes got to be a little bit flexible in terms of how we lay the audit out, because they're busy people. One of the things I did as a reminder was to take Gumby here. Nobody's more flexible than Gumby, like a rubber hose. When we are doing an audit, we're on the customer's time. So this goes on my briefcase, and this comes with me to remember every audit and that first experience I had that I learned to improve from.
I was asked to do a machine guarding audit at a manufacturing facility that had just recently upgraded their machine guarding program. I spent several hours walking through the shop, observing many machines, talking with many operators, and everything seemed to be going well. Toward the end of the day, I saw a very large hydraulic press, which caught my eye. Once the operator had finished his particular task, I went over and did a brief interview with him, and he described in great detail the secondary external guarding that was interlocked, as well as a two-hand actuation switch, which in theory should have provided redundant guarding and protection for this operator. As a test and verify step, I asked him if he would open the external guard and, without any parts in the machine, attempt to cycle it with the two-hand actuation. He immediately replied, well, the machine's not going to run because the guard is open. However, when he hit the two-hand actuation, a full cycle commenced and the machine came crashing down, and the look that the operator gave me, I believe he will never again forget to double check and verify that all existing guards and controls that are in place are functioning properly.
One thing we often find is electrical drops used in lieu of hard wiring. This is acceptable by the code. It's good to be able to, as an auditor, cite chapter and verse in the code that says, yes, this needs to be in conduit, or no, you can use the cord as a flexible cord. Usually this is used so you can move equipment easily. I'm going to use this HDMI as an example. If the cords are going through your facility and just hang like this and you're using tie wrap, that's wrong. Taking it and just draping it over your purlins and having it hang is not good and is not allowed by the code. It must be strain relief. My hand is strain relief. It needs to be there so that if someone pulls on the cord, it can't come down. There also has to be strain relief where the cord drops down to the machine. That way there, if the machine gets hit by a forklift or other item, you cannot pull the cord out. These create electrical hazards which could include fires or breaking of the electrical insulation, which then energizes the entire purlin of the building. At HRP, we attempt to not only give you chapter and verse, but also tell you how to make corrections so that you can meet the code and be safe at the same time. Thank you.
Hi everyone, thank you for watching our video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, and don't forget to go into the links in the description and connect with HRP so we can help you move your environment forward. See you in the next video.